What's up, space pirates? I am your captain, the Dread Pirate Dr. Disaster, and I hope you had a good holiday weekend. One group of people who probably didn't have a good weekend are the bean counters over at Lucasfilm. And not just because those people seemingly hate our culture, but because, as you likely know by now, Indiana Jones 5 has absolutely failed at the box office.
You don't!
Yup, these people are dolts. After ruining Star Wars, they moved on to Willow. And after ruining Willow, they had the bad idea of tainting Indiana Jones. How bad was their idea? Well, let's put it this way. They somehow managed to lose a race with The Flash. Yeah, I know. Normally, you'd think racing The Flash would be difficult, but in this instance, it ought to have been easy. The Flash is a film starring an actor so hated, it's not enough to call it controversial. Ezra Miller is downright despised and is the primary reason that I personally wouldn't go to that film if you paid me. And the movie takes place in a world so dead, Jurassic Park scientists are searching for its fossils so they can add it to their park. And yet Indiana Jones and the Dial of decidedly shitty storytelling had a worse opening weekend than this movie.
Show me the money!
Yeah, they don't have any money to show us, and at this rate, they won't have any money in their coffers. When all is said and done, this might break records as one of the biggest flops of all time, which is impressive considering how beloved this character Indiana Jones is. It takes a very special kind of failure to accomplish such a feat, but to whomever takes over for Kathleen Kennedy when she inevitably goes away, fear not. We still love the IPs of Lucasfilm. We just hate who's making the creative decisions at Lucasfilm. And on that note, in this video, we will take a look at the fact that Indiana Jones 5 got bitch slapped by The Flash, a movie which everyone recognizes as a massive flop. And then we'll take a look at the rumors about Kathleen Kennedy, which I'm beginning to see trickling out into mainstream media, suggesting that she will be gone soon. So hang on to your hats and pour one out for awful storytelling, because when even the shills in the media are discussing it, you know there's at least a little fire underneath all that smoke.
You crossed the line.
Alrighty, let's kick this off by having a look at an article by Cosmic Book News, which says, Indiana Jones 5 box office bombs, worse than The Flash. As expected, the Indiana Jones 5 box office massively bombs, with it learned it is so bad it's actually worse than The Flash. The worldwide box office for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny opened with $130 million, which was beaten out by The Flash's $139 million. I just want to point out that nobody's really talking about this. Everyone wants to focus on the fact that Indiana Jones made $60 million domestically, which did beat out The Flash, but nobody mentions that Indiana Jones missed their projections at the worldwide box office by about $10 million. Nobody in the shill media wants to talk about that. Indiana Jones 5 was predicted to make about 140 mil, but they only took about 130, which is less than The Flash. Put this into perspective, Lucasfilm is apparently less popular these days than a psycho with legal trouble. And I have to be careful with how I say this on YouTube, but legal trouble pertaining to how this person treats children. Lucasfilm these days is probably less popular than a rug burn. Continuing on, the article says, both movies cost a ton of money to make, but Indy 5 actually cost more, over $300 million plus marketing compared to The Flash's $250 million plus. Stateside sees Indiana Jones 5 barely edge out The Flash, as Indy 5 opened at the lower end of box office estimates at $60 million, while The Flash opened with $55 million. Now the race is on to see which one will lose the most money. It's hilarious reading shill site Deadline's articles on the box office reports, as they reported The Flash's $139 million worldwide debut was sluggish. But they say Indiana Jones 5's $130 million is soft. Well, they're both terrible. For reference, just to see how badly the media shills for Disney and tries to minimize their pain, this is what Deadline specifically said about The Flash. The Flash shuffles to sluggish $139 million global bow. Yeah, that sounds really bad. And here is the article written by the very same author talking about Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny clocks soft $130 million global bow. I mean, soft doesn't sound great, but it certainly doesn't sound as bad as sluggish. It just sounds soft. Once again, always remember that the media, most of the media anyway, are not umpires fairly calling balls and strikes. They are cheerleaders, trying to make Disney seem like winners. And that's basically what this article says as it wraps up. It says, Deadline's article about the Indy 5 box office is also cringe-inducing as they attempt to come up with every excuse why the movie failed, including blaming the COOF for the high budget costs, but refuse to lay the blame where it belongs. The movie sucks, the cast sucks, and Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy sucks big time. Kennedy ruined Star Wars, she ruined Willow, and she now ruined Indiana Jones. Her indie star of choice, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, is also slated to next ruin the Tomb Raider brand. Now, keeping in mind that the mainstream media, who are given all of this lucrative access to Disney products ahead of time, before anyone else, given the fact that they are incentivized to give positive coverage to Disney material, keeping that in mind, it is surprising when you begin to see stuff like this show up in mainstream articles. This one I found in Fandom Wire, a site which routinely likes to sniff the farts of Disney and their other corporate masters. The article says, Indiana Jones 5 disaster reportedly final straw for Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars exit. What is she really bringing to the table? Now that is a question that Star Wars fans with at least 2 functioning brain cells to rub together have been asking for quite some time. It is ridiculous that it took Indiana Jones 5 to make these people come around, but whatever. The article reads, Kathleen Kennedy has been a formidable weaver in the grand tapestry of cinematic universes where the adventures of Indiana Jones and the Star Wars galaxies are interwoven. As the president of Lucasfilm, her influence has shaped narratives and guided destinies. However, the winds of change are whispering tales of her potential exit. Intertwined with the performance of the latest Indiana Jones installment, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This saga, unfolding in real time, is as captivating as the on-screen adventures we've come to cherish. Yeah, I'm gonna point this out. Most people think that this saga, this story that's taking place in the background at Lucasfilm, this potential departure of Kathleen Kennedy from the company, that is far more entertaining than anything that we've gotten on the big screen from this company in years. But as I said, these guys are typically shills. Even now, as they discuss Kennedy's possible departure, they try to make her sound awesome, calling her a formidable weaver in the grand tapestry of cinematic universes. But that is how you know this idea of her leaving is picking up steam. That's what is so heartening about this article. They have abandoned their normal position of Disney and Kathleen Kennedy being untouchable, because what they really want is money and clicks, and they are realizing that Kennedy is wildly unpopular. The latest Indiana Jones adventure, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, has been a roller coaster ride of epic proportions. While winning the global weekend box office with ticket sales reaching $130 million, the film fell short of the franchise's previous installment. That's an understatement. As I discussed in my last few videos, they lost over half the audience from the previous film. The whispers of Kathleen Kennedy's potential departure from Lucasfilm have grown louder, echoing through the corridors of the entertainment industry. The rumor mill, fueled by sources ranging from YouTube channels to online publications, paints a picture of a changing guard at Lucasfilm. Reports of a rumored multi-million-dollar severance deal suggest a planned exit strategy. However, the timeline remains more elusive than the Lost Ark, with some speculating a departure as early as July 2023. Amidst these rumors, one thing is clear: Kennedy's departure would mark the end of an era, a turning point in the annals of Lucasfilm. We've discussed this before. I honestly don't know if it would be better for Lucasfilm in the long run if she were replaced, because knowing Disney, they'd replace her with someone just as bad. But it would at least be a symbolic victory for the fans seeing her go away. As the dust settles on the rumors and speculations, the future of Lucasfilm stands at a crossroads. The potential departure of Kathleen Kennedy and the mixed reception of the latest Indiana Jones movie could significantly impact the company's direction. However, the legacy of Lucasfilm, built on the foundations of iconic franchises like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, is robust. As we await official confirmation, the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi ring true. The Force will be with you always. Let's be real here, these shills are gonna shill. But the Force was never with this woman. She very clearly was never particularly good when it came to the creative component of films. Now, word is that she's a tremendous producer and a gifted businesswoman. Now, she's undoubtedly a talented executive in the modern era because she effortlessly creates the one thing they're very good at producing: excuses. But no, she's not good at being in charge of the creative direction of a story. She's simply not a storyteller. She's a bean counter. And while this may make her ideal as the leader of a studio owned by a mega corporation, it makes her a piss-poor custodian of a beloved piece of our culture. And she gotta go. Hopefully, it'll be sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booze.